What an event. So we had a sneak peek for Doom last night that we went to. We did not get to record anything beforehand because we got off work, came home, changed, and then immediately left. But here we are. We're going to just talk about how our Doom experience went. So let's dive right on in. So we decided to play one of the rogue decks that we had on our list, and we're going to be showing some footage here for round one, where we have the grudge match, the revenge from last week. We played against the same player who beat us playing Melodious. They were playing Blue Eyes, Primite, and here we are playing our rogue deck option of Centurion against their Blue Eyes Primite. So game one, he wins die roll. He goes first. He's puts up an okay board. He did end with Majesty, a Blue Eyes, and Drill Beam. So, he had interruptions. We draw for turn, and we draw into the Millennium Engine. We kick things off with the Millennium Engine. And this isn't the version that I will be playing later on. This is just the version that I have for the moment. So we kick off with the Millennium Engine. Baits up enough interruptions with Zombie Vampire, the Millennium. We go Bestial Lebellion, takes the bait on Lebellion, and then we're able to full combo with Centurion, control the board, and just take the win. Game two, pretty much the same thing happens again, except this time we made Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, I want to say, or we just... No. What had happened in game two is we Fluid. He gave us a couple draws. Thankfully, we had the Bestials to interact, so we're able to control with the Bestials. Unfortunately, we drew into a Lightning Storm, which kind of sucked because that would have really done a lot of damage. But we were able to play through, just control the board again, making Blazar, Red Supernova, and Auxilla just keep control and just swing for heavy damage. And also made Chaos Angel too, so I mean, that was really nice. So we're able to take it round one. Round two, we play against Dracotail, a branded Dracotail, I think. I could be wrong, and he was just playing the Blazing Cartesia. Game one, we played all the way till we had 15 minutes left. Yeah, that was not great. Because in game two, I was immediately just in the driver's seat. We were just able to control the board with Cosmic, the Supernova. We were able to take it. Because game one, I had made Supernova in the first place, used its effect to banish the board, but we never brought it back. We never kept current game state. So I mean, PE minor for us, whatever, but there's no judge around to catch it. So I mean, it's not that it matters. Game two, we're able to take it. Game three, we're going down to the wire. We've got seconds left. I'm looking at life points because I committed already with a lot with the Millennium Engine. He was able to just Kaiju, the Photon Lord we made. We weren't able to establish a little bit with the Centurions, so we kind of like made our mistakes there. We could have made Legatia to pop his nib and then make Crimson on his turn to keep control of the game, but I mean, with seconds left, we just decided to concede the game so that way there was no double game loss for anyone. Be the bigger man, I guess. And so he was able to take it there. Round three, we played against Mitsurugi Orchist. And both games 1 and 2, this man just saw Mitsu stuff. So I mean, Mitsu was enough to control the board. We really couldn't interact as much as we want. He hard drew D barrier game 2, and that's what like really killed it for me. Just he had the D barrier. So we ended up taking the L there. Really unfortunate how that went. Just hard having D barrier was just really sacky. But we also didn't have the best hands. That's where the moment of like, oh yeah, like opening up and seeing like so many Bestial Lebellions, and then seeing none of the Millennium Engine, seeing no Centurion Engine. You're just like, okay, what do I do here? Kind of situation. So it's just like, okay, yeah. And I think for that match as well, like we just aside from the D barrier, there just wasn't a lot of like points of interaction where our hand traps worked. Game 2, we had Nib. We waited until he attributed all of his Mitsu stuff before we nibbed, so that way they wouldn't come back. But I forgot about Futsu, so that was on me. And then he made eventually into the Orcus engine. Like, I was like, oh, okay, we're cooked. And then round 4, we get a win. So time was called for a round start. My opponent never showed up. But then I later learned he dropped from the event. So we got a free win. So we didn't see how well this deck was going to eventually do. But there you have it. I think that's all the footage that we have, if there's any showing anymore. If not, we'll just sneak back right here. So again, this isn't the final version that I will play for this deck. I don't even think this one is like quite budget just with the Bestial Rebellions. So let's take a look-see. Because I know the Centurion engine I did pick up, plus the synchros for it for like a little under $45. And so, and these are, you know, Valiant Smashers, so they're the first prints. So I think they might have been a little bit more expensive than the reprint copies. And then the Bestials, since they were reprinted in the Megatins, you know, they're fairly priced out. Okay, so Bestial Rebellions are about 15 a piece. So playing 3 copies of those already puts us at 45 again. 45 plus 45 twice, that's 90. So I mean, unless everything else is under $10, which I know the Bestials, you know, each of the QCR or Starlights, my bad, were $5 a piece, so that's 15, definitely not under, and then there's the extra deck to take account for too. So yeah, so this version didn't quite hit under that $100 budget, but the other version that we will be playing, I know for sure is under that $100 budget, just because a lot of it has been reprinted. We're also not playing the Bestials. We're not playing a lot of the cards in the extra deck that are there that may have driven up the price a bit, but enough yapping. Let me show you the deck that we did play with no side deck. Because side deck really didn't matter here. It was just nibs, drolls, and then thrust targets. So let's see the deck. All right, so again, this isn't the final version, but it is the version we did play for our sneak peek. We're gonna start off with 3 Centurion Primera, 3 Centurion Trudea, 1 Autry, 1 Gargoyle for our monster lineup for the Centurions. I really wish we were in a format where Chimera actually worked, because it's an okay card, in my opinion, but if you want to play it, you can. For spells, we play 3 Stand-Up, 3 Emblem of Oath, 1 Wake Up, 1 Bonds, and then the 1 Trap of Phalanx. I really liked it. I might add the Emblema Salvation just to have another Emblema card, just for recursion, but there wasn't a lot of times where like I needed it. And then I wish there were plays where I'd actually search out Phalanx over some of the other Centurions that I searched. And then there was one duel where I completely just forgot to set it. I had it in my hand. So that was kind of like an oof moment, but we made it work nonetheless. And then for the Millennium Engine, it's very small. We play 3 copies of Sengenjin, 2 copies of Golem, and then 2 copies of Wedju Temple. It's pretty similar to, oh gosh, what was it that I played? I think Rescue Ace Millennium with Azamina, where I was playing this. We decided to up Wedju Temple because I think Wedju Temple was just really needed. We just really needed to see it, so. And I like the fact that they're now all Ultras because of the Megaton reprints. And the Bestial Engine, again, is pretty small as well. We're playing 3 copies of the Bestial Rebellion, 1 Magnamut, 1 Druisworm, 1 Baldrake, 1 Sarnir. Really nice. And then we're playing the 1 Branded Regain and the 1 Beast. We never actually got to do this whole combo. We did set the Regained, so I mean there was that for us, which was really nice. Regained was just there for draw power. We didn't see any Malice, so it's not like it was that needed. And then for some others that we played the last bit, we played 1 copy of Bonfire. Bonfire gets us into Trudea. If we had more copies of it, it'd be cool, but if not, since we don't the one was pretty fine. It did get us into combo though, which is nice. And then we were playing 3 copies of Eclipse and 3 copies of Fuelos. This was the main reason why I didn't like this version, was just because there is no interaction. It is a lot of like, okay, just sit and wait when you go second. If we see the Fuelos, we see the Fuelos. We only had it resolve once, which was in that match 1 against Blue Eyes. Otherwise, every time else, it was ashed, so we never really got to fully utilize it. Eclipse was nice though, except into the Draco Tail match. That one was pretty rough. And then onto the extra deck where things get a little interesting. We're playing 1 Snake Eyes Doomed and then 1 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. The Doomed was part of the combo for the Millennium. Obviously make Zombie Vampire with Sangenjin and Snake Eyes Doomed to just hopefully see Centurions. Chimera Tech Mega Fleet was primarily in here for Crystron. If there were any Crystron K9 where they're ending on SP and the Cyber Dragon Infinity, but I didn't see anyone playing Crystron, so, but it's there. Then for some Synchro 8s, we play 2 Primera Primus. We only made this once, but in the other version that we will be playing, we will be making this a lot more often. So that's why I'm going to keep it at 2 for the other version that we'll play. But this was just really good, and its revive was pretty nice into one of those matchups where we were nibbed. And then, like I said, we played the 1 Chaos Angel, because Chaos Angel's just really good with the Bestials and Centurions, since, you know, Darks, Lights. What do you know? Free 10. And then for the bread and butter of this, we are playing 1 copy of Crimson Dragon, 1 copy of Auxilla, 1 copy of Legacia, 1 Red Supernova Dragon, 1 Stardust Cipher Divine, and then 1 Cosmic Blazar. I know a lot of decks play 2 Cosmic Blazar. I don't have a second, so that's the reason why. But we're also just trying out the Stardust Cipher Divine, because I think it's pretty cool. I know Blue Eyes plays it, and so like I wanted to test it just to see how well I would like it. And honestly, the one time that we did make it, it was actually pretty clutch, preventing our stuff from being destroyed that first time around. So I'm not gonna lie, I want to keep it going forward. And then I am thinking of a second Auxilla, maybe a second Crimson, because we did have Crimson get negated once, and so that was kind of sucky for us, but we'll see. I don't know. Extra deck space in this deck is pretty hard. The last couple cards, we played 1 Zombie Vampire and 1 number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Since the Millennium Engine lets us get into either one of these, depending on what we need. If we need to just see what our opponent is playing and get into Engine ourselves, Zombie Vampire. If not, we just make Photon Lord as our just a monster negate, which, you know, can come up. And then we also did play 1 IP and 1 SP Master Arena. We made IP, but we never got into SP, so there was that for us. Honestly, I had a fun time playing this deck, but like I said, it's not the final version of the deck. There's going to be a much, much better version that we will play, which, in my opinion, is way better. But that's it for my Dude Doom sneak peek. I had a blast. It was fun. We went 2-2, which, you know, first time piloting this deck and this version particularly, because the other version is the one that I more so want to play. So I've been play testing that one a little bit more. But hopefully we're getting closer and closer to getting to this one. And then as well, we did pick up, of course, some sneak peek cards ourselves. So I mean, we were able to get, oh, of course, it's not all in here. But we did get, since we're primarily looking for the pendulum stuff, we did pick up some Sulfa cords. We also did pick up the DDD, which is the deck we are most excited to play. So stay tuned for that one. But other than that, we'll pass it over to you.